Here with more is South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, you have 85 co-sponsors for a bill to sanction countries that are funding Putin's war machine. Look, it's a nuclear-armed country. We don't want a conflict with Putin. I don't like that Biden got us into a proxy war, and he was giving all of these weapons. Trump is selling the weapons, and he's basically saying, maybe Putin is a paper tiger. He should have won that war in 7 days. Didn't happen.
Trump 2028. I hope this never ends. When he asks, what should you do if a Russian jet flies into your country? Shoot it down. He's tried to go out of his way to get Putin to the table. We don't want to humiliate Russia. We just want to end the war. And to our friends in Russia, here's what Trump did today. He told NATO, I'll sell you all the weapons you want. You can provide them to Ukraine. And as to Ukraine, you can use them any way you want. So to the Russian military, you're going to be up against the high-end American weapons that will be sold to NATO for the benefit of Ukraine. And this war is coming to your backyard here with no limitations like Biden. He's everything Biden wasn't. He stood up to the UN in the UN and called them out for who they are. 45 resolutions, Sean, in the United Nations condemning Israel in the last 15 years, more than the entire world combined. If you looked at the UN, the biggest problem on the planet is Israel. 45 condemning resolutions against Israel, more than the entire world combined. So he put Putin on notice today that I'm going to give Ukraine, sell Ukraine the weapons they need to continue this fight, and it's coming into your backyard. He told Europeans, if you don't stop buying Russian oil and gas, you got nobody to blame but yourself. Hungary, Slovakia, and Turkey are buying $1 billion of Russian oil and gas a month. So God bless President Trump. I think he gave the right message on a world stage. And, you know, he told the world what they needed to hear. Up your game.
You know, call it the Trump doctrine, call it the Trump manifesto. I don't care what you want to call it. But when, you know, you think about it, but he's against globalism. He doesn't want forever wars. He's trying really hard. He's invested a lot of political capital to bring about peace. But he also understands the power of this country economically, the power of this country militarily. Actually, I would call it the destiny of America to be a force for good on this planet, and really just went after every status quo, every standard establishment way of thinking from the UN on down, all the way through our allies and our foes. I thought it was masterful in that regard, and it is America basically leading the cause of freedom to me.
It's everything that Biden didn't do, everything Obama didn't do. They go to the UN and apologize for our greatness as a country. Donald Trump told our friends in Europe, you're our allies, but stop buying Russian oil and gas. How can I end a war when you're fueling the enemy? We're going to start going after countries that prop up Putin's war machine. We're going to sell weapons to NATO for the benefit of Ukraine. That's the only way this war is going to end is a 1-2 punch, weapons and cutting off his customers, strangling his customers. But when it comes to America first, this was a good example of it. He told the UN, you're more the problem than the solution. These 7 wars that he ended, if it weren't for Donald Trump, they'd all be going on. Rwanda and Congo's been going on for 37 years. It really does matter who's in the White House. This guy's a cross between P.T. Barnum and Ronald Reagan. He's in everybody's head. God bless you, President Trump, for standing up in the UN and telling the world the way it is. We don't have to live this way. We don't have to live with a Europe that's buying Russian oil at the time we're all trying to stop the war with Russia and Ukraine. So I hope he runs again. You know, the First Lady today met with the First Lady of Ukraine to talk about 20,000 Ukrainian children kidnapped by Russian forces. Russia is a paper tiger. You know, they've been fighting Ukraine for 3.5 years. Ukraine's outnumbered 10-1. They've been kicking Russia's ass. The only thing they've been able to do is kidnap children in Russian-occupied, Ukrainian-occupied territory by Russia. And the First Lady today gave her voice to those kids. So I've got a bill to make Russia a state sponsor of terrorism if they don't turn these Ukrainian kids back over to their family. The Trumps have changed everything. This world is better off for President Trump being president, and there's a new sheriff in town, and you saw it today.
Senator Graham, appreciate you being with us. Thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.